Now, from your weather authority, your KTAB Forecast First.
Well, in case you missed it earlier, I saved this spectacular sunset view from our Skycam. This was about 5:59 this afternoon. Wow, what a way to end today. As far as starting tomorrow, well, it's going to be cold, 30 degrees when we get started, and we have some patchy freezing drizzle possible across the I-20 corridor and north, and then just more of the liquid drizzle possible further south. Only 38 by noontime, and you're going to need that heavy coat by the afternoon. Still 48, even though we might see some peaks of sunshine. We'll get to all of that in just a bit. That's your forecast first. KTAB News at 10 starts now.
With coverage you can count on. This is KTAB News at 10.
An Abilene man is in jail tonight in connection with the active homicide investigation. He's related to the victim. We'll tell you how and what he's charged with.
And there are some things to clear up before fans from both Wiley and Sweetwater get ready to head to Arlington for the championship game on Friday.
Plus, honoring the life of a charitable disc jockey and helping Brownwood boys and girls have a Merry Christmas at the same time. Good evening. Thank you for choosing KTAB News tonight. I'm Bob Bartlett.
And I'm Brittany Paletz. Tonight, Abilene police make an arrest in the ongoing murder investigation of a well-known realtor. This is video of 45-year-old Luke Sweetser on his way to the Taylor County Jail after being taken in this evening on a warrant for theft of a firearm.
He's the brother-in-law of 54-year-old Tom Niblo, who was found dead in his South Abilene home after being shot Monday morning. KTAB's Stacy Wermel was the only reporter on scene when detectives took Sweetser into custody at the Taylor County Law Enforcement Center. That's where she joins us with the update for tonight's top story. Stacy?
Well, yeah, that's right, Bob and Brittany. I was here at the Taylor County Law Enforcement Center when Abilene police detectives were bringing in several pieces of evidence in relation to the murder of Thomas Niblo. Now, they found that evidence while they were executing more than a dozen search warrants. And while they were executing those search warrants, they found several stolen firearms. And today they put out an arrest warrant for Thomas Niblo's brother-in-law, Luke Sweetser. And then, Bob and Brittany, around 6 p.m. tonight, they brought Luke Sweetser here to the Taylor County Law Enforcement Center, and he was in handcuffs being escorted by police detectives. And they brought him into the Law Enforcement Center to question him, and they have confirmed to us that it is in connection to the murder of Thomas Niblo. And of course, Bob and Brittany, I've been covering this murder since it happened on Monday, and I will continue to do so, bringing all the latest updates. And of course, police detectives have been working around the clock to figure out who is responsible for killing Thomas Niblo. Bob and Brittany, back to you.
All right, great work. Thank you, Stacy. Sweetser is in the Taylor County Jail on the theft of a firearm charge with a bond of $400,000.
It's been an exhaustive few days for Abilene police detectives, as Stacy mentioned, who are investigating the Niblo murder, and it's far from over. KTAB talked with retired APD detective Gary Heslop, who talked with us about the importance of the first 48 hours after a major crime in hopes of solving it. He also tells KTAB News that it's all hands on deck, with people from multiple departments working together to find the person or people responsible.
You just go backwards from what you find. You try to find who saw the person last and who they were with and what they'd been doing, and then just go from there to the people that know them and relatives and things of that nature.
Now, Heslop says just because little information is being released publicly, it does not mean police have nothing. He says a lot of times detectives stay tight-lipped, especially in a high-profile case like this, because they have so many factors that go into building a case. For complete coverage of the Niblo homicide investigation, stay with KTAB and BigCountryHomepage.com.
Law enforcement in Nolan County make a drug bust that leads to 3 arrests. Officers from several agencies searched a home in the 1000 block of Oak Street in Sweetwater. 46-year-old Lewis Jr. Perry, 18-year-old Jesse Jane Dowell, and 21-year-old Josie Jean Dowell are all charged with multiple drug and manufacturing charges. Investigators say they seized a significant amount of methamphetamine, crack cocaine, cocaine, heroin, and a small quantity of marijuana. The sheriff says there was, quote, a prolific dealing operation in Nolan County.
A man on the run from authorities in Brown County escapes custody again. 29-year-old Reynaldo Salazar Brownwood police officers attempted to arrest Salazar at a home on the 900 block of Sharp Street when he fled the scene on Tuesday night. After about an hour, police called off the search, but they're now asking for your help in finding him. Now, this picture was taken from the scene back in October. That's when Salazar originally ran from authorities during that traffic stop. He was taken into custody a week after this incident. He has several warrants on his record for drug-related felonies.
Two big country schools are heading to the Texas High School Football State Championships, the Wiley Bulldogs and the Sweetwater Mustangs. For the Mustangs, it's a return trip 31 years in waiting. The winning streak Sweetwater has going is not only exciting for players, coaches, and fans, but also for Sweetwater businesses. Playoff T-shirts have been selling out at many businesses in Nolan County. Fans making the trip to AT&T Stadium in the Metroplex need to know about the stadium's clear bag policy. Wiley and Sweetwater fans must move all belongings from purses, backpacks, and even diaper bags to clear bags. Local businesses like the T-shirt barn are benefiting from this clear bag policy.
It's actually changed a lot, especially with our boys going. Everybody wants to get the greatest gear, which, like I said, most of our Mustang boys, they wear our stuff. So everybody wants what they want. I mean, what they have, of course, because they're the ones playing, which is pretty cool.
The T-shirt barn actually had so many requests for the clear bags that it had to order more. Those should be in tomorrow. The Sweetwater Mustangs and Wiley Bulldogs both play at AT&T Stadium in Arlington on Friday. Sweetwater at noon, Wiley at 4 o'clock.
Go Bulldogs, go Mustangs.
Yes.
Still ahead, helping Brown County families as Christmas approaches.
And Sam is here. The cold is approaching faster than Christmas, Sam.
But you know, I'm always wanting to help football fans, and with those shortage of bags, I have a formal designer clutch right here for the ladies that might want to just take a formal clutch with them to the ball games, the clear variety. Always wanting to help. Just contact me on Facebook. Let's look at our numbers here. We got up this morning pretty frosty, 28 degrees, and 52 is our final number this afternoon. We have a chance for some frozen precipitation. Not expecting a great deal, but could see a few slick spots in the morning. We'll get to that in just a bit.
With coverage you can count on. Bob Bartlett, Brittany Paletz, and Chief Meteorologist Sam Nichols. This is KTAB News at 10. Now, Chief Meteorologist Sam Nichols with your Weather Authority forecast.
All right, everything's pretty calm on the satellite and radar. A few clouds up around the Panhandle and out in the Permian Basin, but not much going on here. The clouds are going to increase around our area between now and in the morning. Max Live radar is running clear. School bus is going to be running with a heater on in the morning. I promise you, 30 degrees when it rolls around. A lot of folks are going to be in the upper 20s as well. Freezing drizzle possible along and north of Interstate 20. We'll get to all of that in just a bit. So bundle up the kiddos. Give them a hot breakfast when they get out the door. 36 right now. Dew point at 27, 70% humidity. Light breeze out of the north, less than 10 miles an hour. Right now it's still in the lower 40s from Brownwood over to Ballinger. Comanche's at 38, 38 also in Breckenridge, while it's 35 in Knox City, and a pair of 36-degree readings in Snyder and Sweetwater here at 10 o'clock. As far as the freezing drizzle, it's going to be patchy. It's going to start early in the morning hours, say about 2 or 3 o'clock, as early as that, and then last all the way through the mid-morning hours. And it's like regular drizzle, except it turns to ice upon contact because of the cold temperatures. And the surfaces like bridges and overpasses are going to have a tendency to be slick when this drizzle hits it and freezes. And again, it's not going to be widespread as far as just having a skating rink. Now remember, we've had those instances before all across the big country when it's just one big skating rink. That's not what we're going to see. It's going to be very patchy, but be very careful while you're out and about driving tomorrow for sure. As far as the futurecast, increasing clouds tonight, and as we mentioned, early morning hours through about mid-morning, patchy, light, freezing drizzle to the north and along Interstate 20 to the south. More than likely it's all going to be of the liquid variety, but again, that is flexible for sure. And then Friday, skies clear and we flip the switch. Look at this, warm and windy on Friday, and that warm and windy designation will continue through Saturday afternoon, and then we flip the switch again. 30 tonight, and northeast winds very light, and then tomorrow the northeast winds will shift to the south, but 48, cloudy, freezing drizzle in the morning possible, and then very cold to be out and about for very long. 32 through the heartland tonight, and patchy drizzle through the morning hours. 50 for a high temperature, still pretty chilly. And as we mentioned, things change from 48 tomorrow to 74 and 70 on Friday and Saturday. Spring-like conditions, mostly cloudy but pretty windy for sure. And then we have a cold front that comes through, and that will really be a game changer. And you'll be clutching your purse, you'll be clutching your blanket and crawling into bed and wanting to stay there. That's for sure.
Clutching your clutch.
That's right. Yes. That's right, for sure.
Okay. Only 2 days left for this year's Santa's Helpers. That's unbelievable.
I know.
We're almost
flew
at the
by.
end. Boy, I tell you what, KTAB makes a very Merry Christmas for children who are nonprofit agencies, but only with your help.
And I have a great letter. This is from Robert. My name is Robert. I'm 13 years old. I live at the Ben Ritchie Boys Ranch. I've been trying to be very good this year. A few good things I have done is make good grades and play sports. What I would like for Christmas this year is a football or a basketball, and I promise to leave you a special gift of thanks when you come to visit me Christmas Eve. And please give Mrs. Claus a hug for me. Boy, he's playing it, isn't he? Good job, Robert.
Smart.
Yes. Work it.
Yes.
There you go.
That's great.
And your donation of a new unwrapped toy, of course, will go to help many Big Country boys and girls in this area have a Merry Christmas. You can drop off a donation here at KTAB or at any of these partners on your screen, or come out and see us on Friday. We'll be at the Walmart on Southwest Drive from 9 to 7. We thank all of you who have helped us so far.
And another one of our favorite times of year is the annual West Texas Rehabilitation Telethon. Rehab 2017 is coming up next month.
Hard to believe it. And the headliner entertainers have been announced. Country music stars can look forward to Charles Esten and Lauren Elaine. And Esten plays the role of Deacon Claiborne on the popular TV show Nashville.
You know who that is, don't you?
I do.
You almost
Yes,
had your picture with him?
Yes, but I didn't, so maybe there's a redo.
It could be, yeah.
And Lauren was a finalist on season 10 of American Idol. And longtime broadcaster Charlie Chase, who's been part of the Rehab Telethon over the years, helped to announce the performers via Skype today on KTAB for You. And mark your calendars, the Rehab Telethon is January 21st at 7 p.m. on KTAB from the Abilene Civic Center. You'll be there.
Well, yes, along with a lot of other people.
That's right.
Including Charles.
Yes.
I'll see if I can line up a picture for you.
Yes, please do. Please do. Coming up on KTAB News, the Brownwood community works together to collect toy donations and to honor the life and legacy of a radio DJ.
And here's a preview of what's coming up in the morning on KTAB Daybreak.
Please join us for KTAB Daybreak. We have some good news for people with severe life-threatening allergies who need to carry those self-injecting shots of epinephrine.
Plus, don't get too comfortable. We have big weather changes on the way, and I'll also have a look at the forecast if you're headed over to Arlington for the state football finals.
And of course, we'll have the news that happens while you're asleep.
We'll be here to say good morning on KTAB Daybreak, 5:30 to 7 a.m.
Till then, have a great night.
Three. Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
KTAB News at 10 continues.
Brownwood radio station's annual Toy Off. They line the streets to collect toys and cash donations for Toys for Kids. Businesses and individuals want to make sure each child has a happy Christmas.
And this year it was a little bit more sentimental. Radio disc jockey Brian Wade passed away a few weeks ago, and this toy drive was named in Wade's memory. KTAB Brownwood Bureau reporter Chelsea Followell reports.
Every year in Brownwood, these streets are lined with volunteers who are taking toy and cash donations for the children of Brownwood. Local radio stations come together for what they call a toy off. It's a friendly competition between the local radio stations to see who can raise the most for those in need.
We're just a very blessed community, and it means a lot to be able to see, these National Guard guys and Santa Claus and different groups come out.
These donations go straight to the toy drive.
And at the end of the day, 5 o'clock, we load up the trailer, haul it all out to the Toys for Kids, and of course, a lot of children out there will get a very bright Christmas.
which is now being called the Brian Wade Toys for Kids.
It was all started by Brian Wade, who we recently lost, and so this year I think is going to be probably bigger than ever.
To honor the life of Brian Wade, who was instrumental in the growth of this toy drive.
It's kind of special, dedicated to the memory of the young man that started all of this in 2006, Brian Wade, so it's kind of a special year.
This year, the community raised a record amount of cash and toy donations.
It means that we have a lot of happy, wonderful kids that need it, that really need this.
Radio stations combined raised close to $15,000 in just cash donations. Needless to say, these kids will be having a very Merry Christmas. In Brownwood, Chelsea Followell, KTAB News.
Wow, thank you, Chelsea. More than 3,000 toys were collected, all thanks to the efforts of these radio stations, and they say it made a record year.
Really great with the help of all the folks in Brownwood and Brown County.
That's right.
Good for you. Time for sports. Good for David.
Yes, and great work there in Brownwood. Way to go, and way to help other people out. We've got high school football to talk about. Mary Margaret shows you why running back Abram Smith is BCA Sports Offensive Player of the Year. Then to the Class 4A Division I state championship game. How are the Wiley Bulldogs handling the pressure of going to state? We asked. And who's going to be the next football coach at Abilene Christian? I know the answer to that question, and we'll enlighten you in a bit. Sports is next.
This is BigCountryHomepage.com Sports with David Robinette.
We start with high school football and the Offensive Player of the Year. Abram Smith was dominant this year for the Abilene High Eagles and helped lead them to another district championship and a pair of playoff wins. He's the BCA Sports Player of the Year. Here's Mary Margaret with more about the Eagles' record-setting quarterback.
It was clear in Abram Smith's first varsity game at Abilene High that he was going to be special. As a freshman, he scored a touchdown the first time he touched the ball. And through his 4 years as an Eagle, he's run his way to becoming our BCH Sports Offensive Player of the Year.
You know, when it come time to take over the lead roles as a junior and a senior, he did so. He didn't always talk, but he did it by example.
Abram certainly did set an example for future Eagles. In his senior season, he rushed for 1,939 yards and 33 touchdowns. And he finished off his career at Abilene High with a total of 5,144 yards, the best record in Eagle football history.
It was extremely exciting, but honestly, I couldn't have got it done without my teammates, of course. You know, the O-line up front, they were blocking for me, giving me lots of holes every single year, so thankful for them.
Not only was Abram Smith a huge part of this Abilene High offense throughout his time here, he was able to lead them this year to a deep playoff run and clinch his first ever gold ball in the playoffs.
You know, nobody liked it more than him because he, you know, it was the first one he was able to play for and to get. And so, you know, he was very excited about getting that trophy. He took it home with him after the game and took it to Waterburger. And
I guess you can say we did get a lot farther than we did last year. We came up short, which was a little loss, but we did go as a team, and we just kept playing week by week so that way we wouldn't fall apart.
Broken records and playoff wins aside, Abram says he's the most proud to be an Abilene High Eagle.
Just the work ethic here, you know. You got to get down, you got to work hard, and just the family that you build, you know, the little trust that you build with the coaches and the players and all that people come through. And that's what I enjoy about being an Eagle, is that everyone here has your back.
Abram Smith, the BCH Sports Offensive Player of the Year. For BigCountryHomepage.com Sports, I'm Mary Margaret Johnson.
Here's the list of honorable mentions. Sweetwater quarterback Chris Thompson and his Mustangs play for a state championship on Friday. Cooper's Milo Royals had a great year catching the football for the Cougars, and Cade Baker helped lead Anson to the school's best season ever. Now to the teams that are still playing this year. The Wiley Bulldogs play in the Class 4A Division I state championship game coming up on Friday. It's their fourth time to go in school history. They're one of two teams left in the state. That means the players are the center of attention. Fellow students, teachers, and fans are in their ears. It could be a distraction, but the players say they have to concentrate on taking care of business on the field.
I mean, pressure. Coach always tells us to ignore the talk, talk's cheap. So, I mean, the pressures may be relevant until kickoff, but after kickoff, you know, it's just whoever's on the field, make the plays.
Yes, you hear it a lot. You just hear people talking about it and coming up to you in the hallways and stuff, but you just take it with a grain of salt.
A lot of pressure on these guys that people put on them, and so and they put on themselves. So it's just a relief when you get an opportunity to play at the stadium we're playing for a state championship.
Wiley takes on Carthage for the Class 4A Division I state championship on Friday. They'll kick at 4 o'clock. Sweetwater Mustangs, they play the first game of the day on Friday at AT&T Stadium. Their game with defending state champion West Orange Stark starts at noon. Finally, college football and an update on Abilene Christian's search for a new head football coach. A source close to the program tells BCH Sports that Northwest Missouri State head coach Adam Dorrell is expected to be introduced at the news conference on Monday as the new leader of the football program. Other than announcing the plan for the introduction, ACU had no comment on who the coach would be. At Northwest Missouri, Dorrell is 75-8 in 6 seasons with 2 national championships, and he and the Bearcats play for a third on Saturday against North Alabama. That's the sports. Let's go back to Bob and Bree.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good for ACU if
Yes.
that is who the man is. Thank you, David. Sam has another look at the forecast, but first let's check the Texas lottery numbers.
Cold start tomorrow, Sam.
You bet. Some patchy freezing drizzle along and north of Interstate 20 could give some driving issues in the morning, so be very careful. 30 in the morning and only 48, so bundle up for sure.
All right, thank you, Sam. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Before we leave you tonight, KTAB's Nights of Lights. This evening, our decorations are on Hamilton Street in Southeast Abilene. Good night.
Good night.